What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, everyone. This is Lee, and yes, today's the day we'll be talking about monster adapters. So, without further ado, let's begin. Now, right before we talk about monster adapters, let's talk about adapters in general. Now, I have so many adapters here. Here's my Nikon FTZ adapter. I have the Canon to Fuji mount right here by Finger. I also have another Finger adapter for the Nikon Z with the Canon mount. And currently right now, I have the Veltrox with the Canon mount on my GH5. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons. Actually, the pros is you get to use your lens on a non-native body. So let's just skip the pros. Let's talk about the cons. First things first, Veltrox. Worst adapter I ever bought, period. Autofocus worked it pretty okay on my GH5, but it doesn't work no more. Yeah, it doesn't even work no more. It just changes my aperture right now, and it sucks. It's very, it's still usable. I mean, I still could use autofocus for my photo, but for my video, it just doesn't work no more. It's just, maybe it's a bad unit, who knows? This is kind of the wonky thing that you will encounter over time, because at the beginning, it was okay, it worked it just fine. You see, I paused when I said fine because autofocus was still pretty bad on a GH5, but everyone knows that by now. But yeah, definitely that's something you guys should know, because you'll encounter slow autofocus, bad autofocus, or choppy autofocus. Those are just some autofocus issues you guys might run into. Now, here is another thing. FTZ, look at this. This is directly from Nikon. It works with all Nikon lenses just fine. Now, currently in the Nikon community, the FTZ with a third-party lens, because I know a lot of Pentaxians out there, you guys have your Sigmas, your Tamarons. This FTZ adapter doesn't work too well with third-party lenses. It sort of shuts off the camera. Actually, the camera will tell you that your lens is not attached correctly. I'll leave a link down below for that video. But yeah, this works with any Nikon lens except the screw drive mount. Yep. So this is something for you guys to know. This doesn't work for my older Nikon stuff, obviously. So yeah, that sucks. So anyways, as for the Finger, currently right now, I noticed with the Finger, I have my buddy Matty, he tested this out with his Canon telephoto lens. Even though on the website, it says it works with the telephoto lens by Canon, it does work. However, there was a problem. Essentially, it only works on a static subject. When you're shooting with continuous autofocus with the long telephoto, it sort of like misses autofocus. It hunts and it snaps and it hunts, it snaps. It's kind of weird with telephoto lenses. However, with normal lenses with like a 100mm, I got the Finger right here for the Nikon, it works just fine actually. So that is something that you guys should know. Now, with all that in mind, there is one last thing that you guys should know about the adapters out there. Be careful. This is a warning right now. Only one company so far. I think there was another one, but I couldn't find it anymore. But this company right here, they were really famous. They're still famous today, and they fixed the problem. I'm pretty sure they fixed the problem now, but back in when they started the whole Nikon to Sony, essentially they sent out their adapters. People saw the videos, they were like, oh wow, it works on a Nikon and Sony, it works. Just like how we're looking at the Pentax to the Sony now, we're getting excited, right? When PhotoDiox, yes, they made this adapter, it's called PhotoDiox Fusion. You could YouTube it, of course. When they made their adapter for the Nikon to the Sony, yeah, it was pretty bad. A lot of people fried their Sony cameras and their adapters pretty much. And basically it was a terrible time. Yeah, that is something for you guys to kind of, know right now. You guys know right now, right? You are putting your camera in jeopardy when you're buying third-party adapters. Just keep that in mind. This is not a knock on monster adapter. This is just adapters in general. You might fry your system. And also a side note, if you're using like a third-party battery, it could just ruin the whole experience as well. So make sure you got the right firmware, real batteries. Don't get the third-party batteries. It could kind of fluctuate with the power and stuff like that. It's weird. it's weird. That's just adapters in general. So now that's all out the way, let's take a look at monster adapters, right? Because now that you guys seen FTZ, Fingers, Veltrox, we can talk about monster adapters, because right now they're making an adapter for your Pentax screw mount to a Sony, and it seems like it's working. That's how it always starts. It always seems like it's working. Now, I can kind of back them up a little bit. I've been like searching them for you guys, and let me tell you guys some pros and cons to monster adapters so far that I gathered. Number one, I don't want to say this is pro or con, but they only operate through an eBay store, it seems. So everything that's been sold, it's on eBay. They don't have a website that you go to just yet. It's just eBay. Now, number two, most of their firmware updates are for Windows only, no Macs. So if you're a Mac user, count yourself out. That's unless they're gonna do Mac in the future, right? So currently, I don't see any Mac firmware updates for their adapters. That's something for you guys to know. Now, another thing you guys should know is they sell their current adapters for their Sony stuff for $200. That's actually a bargain, in my opinion, if it works. It's a bargain if it works. If it kind of works, it's a little expensive, because Veltrox was, you know, 100 something. It sucks. But anyways, if it's $200 for your Pentax adapter, then that's a bargain if it works, right? Now, another thing you guys should know is when you look at their eBay store, keep an eye on their sales. You could see their feedback, and so far, it's all been 100%. And that's good news for anyone that's planning to buy this adapter for their Pentax to the Sony. And also, if you have any issues, I noticed in their Facebook group, there are people from Monster Adapter there is willing to help you troubleshoot. So that's good news. And also, they do fast shipments, it seems, by reading the feedback. So that is pretty good. Now, here is something that I want everyone to do. If you're a Pentaxian, you're planning to buy this adapter for a Sony, please do this for your own peers. When you buy the adapter and it works for you, when you put the positive feedback on the eBay store, make sure you put down the model of your camera plus the lens that it works with. So future buyers, when they look through the feedback, you could definitely see if it worked for which lens, you know. So essentially, we're just creating like a verification list on which model works with which lens, and so people could just scroll down and just read it all before they buy it as well. So that's just something for the community, not for me or anything like that. I'm gonna put the link down below. I don't, get anything from it. I'm just trying to help out the community on my channel, just in case you guys are planning to buy this adapter for Sony instead of the Pentax K3 Mark III. You guys are planning to jump ships to Sony. So with all that in mind, thank you guys for checking me back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely click like and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Take it easy. Peace.